This is the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Calling Farmers, a 5-minute look at activities and developments in the agricultural sector.
On today's program, we continue our discussion with livestock farmers about how they are coping with the extended dry spell now affecting the country. We'll hear how pig farmers have been adjusting. I'm Kevin Clark. Good morning. Pig farmers across Jamaica are keeping a close watch as drought conditions continue to affect the island with no major rainfall in sight for months. We spoke with Public Relations Manager of the Jamaica Pig Farmers Association, the JPFA, Delroy Mania, and asked him how members across the island are coping with the conditions.
In the eastern section of the island, is that at present there is not a severe problem with water, but they are concerned that the water level is getting low, and most of our farmers are on the domestic water supply from the National Water Commission. They are cognizant of that fact that the water is getting low, so they are trying to put measures in place, storage tanks and so, to see how they can store in case of intermittent pumping. In the central section of the island, though, that's where the problem is at the moment. Farmers in Clarendon and Manchester, especially Manchester, they are severely affected at this time. They have to be purchasing water from the National Water Commission, rapid response thing. And it is sending their cost of production up, high. We don't know how they're going to be coping, but we just have to see what we can do. Most of our farmers have what we usually refer to as catchment tanks, but not very big catchment tanks. So they do reserve some amount of water. However, the farmers out in Westmoreland, they are a little better than most other farmers in that they are not presently experiencing that severe drought, and some of them are really tapping into water sources such as ponds and springs and rivers where they pump water from. Of course, they are expressing concern that it is getting low too, and that they'll be watching to see what is happening. We have asked them to conserve as much as possible and to store as much as possible.
What are they doing on a basic level to cope, even those who may not be in the depth of the problem right now? What are some of the little things that they are doing to ensure that they use less?
Pigs consume a lot of water, and especially when time is hot, so the consumption part, is hardly anything we can do about that. But for your sanitation procedures, some people are resorting to using a high-pressure machine, something like what they use for the car wash, to wash the pen. So you use less water, you use more air pressure and less water. And there are some farmers who definitely, are using a higher concentration of, say, your sanitizers, and so those who use brush with less water. But it is a critical situation, and farmers are a bit concerned. We are going to be monitoring the system and see what kind of measures we can, put in place to see if we can assist these farmers in getting some water. In Manchester, one farmer told me that he has to be buying water at $12,000 per load, and this load of water only lasts for just about a week.
That was Public Relations Manager of the Jamaica Pig Farmers Association, the JPFA, Delroy Mania. Tomorrow we'll find out about efforts to help livestock farmers deal with reduced water resources.
Fish is bright people food, So keep the water clean. And guess what? Keep it cool. And remember, follow the rules. Don't trouble the fish them in the fish sanctuary. And when lobster season close, leave the lobster, make them grow. A message from the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries and the Fisheries Division.
And that brings us to the end of our program. If you've got questions or comments, send them to us here at the JIS at 58A Halfway Tree Road, Kingston 10, or send your emails to radio@jis.gov.jm. And you can keep up with us by becoming a fan on Facebook. On behalf of studio engineer Douglas Harper, I am Kevin Clark. Have a good day.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.